she's pretty incredible. I mean, you watch her and it's unguardable. There's nothing anybody can do to stop it. Like, she's just that dominant, whether it's her mid-range game, she can put it on the floor. She's just so athletic.
The basketball world just got rocked. And if you think you're ready for this, brace yourself. Caitlin Clark? Yes, the unstoppable, record-breaking Caitlin Clark has officially received the golden ticket, the dream invitation to Team USA Senior December training camp. And it isn't just any camp. This is the battlefield where legends are forged, careers are defined, and the future of American women's basketball is written in bold. We're talking World Cup rosters, Olympic dreams, the kind of stage where every play is magnified 1,000 times. And now, Caitlin Clark has earned the right to strut onto that stage. But here's where it gets truly shocking. Aya Wilson, the seasoned superstar, the multiple-time WNBA MVP, the face of dominance, is nowhere to be found on that roster. She's sitting at home, watching from the sidelines as the young phenom who has dominated headlines, shattered records, and captured fans' hearts takes the spotlight. This isn't just a slight. This isn't a minor snub. This is a stunning, public, inescapable statement. Every subtle shade, every social media jab, every attempt to undercut Caitlin Clark over the past months now comes crashing down in a single, cold moment of reality. Aya Wilson's reaction, or lack thereof, is about to define the narrative for the coming months. Will she bounce back stronger, or has the basketball universe just delivered the ultimate slap of poetic justice? And let's not sugarcoat this. Clark didn't just get lucky. Her performances are jaw-dropping. Her leadership on the floor is magnetic. She elevates every teammate, captivates every fan, and generates a cultural ripple that extends far beyond the basketball court. Team USA isn't just looking at skill anymore. They're measuring influence, marketability, charisma, and legacy. And in every single one of those categories, Caitlin Clark doesn't just compete, she dominates. So, as we dive into what this roster announcement means, I need you to think carefully. Is Aya Wilson jealous, insecure, or simply caught off guard by a younger star eclipsing her shine? By the time we're done, you might see this situation in a completely new, hard-hitting light. And trust me, the story just keeps getting more explosive from here. To fully appreciate the magnitude of this moment, we need to rewind the tape and look at the months of tension, shade, and drama that led up to Caitlin Clark's invitation and Aya Wilson's shocking omission. The irony here is so thick, you could cut it with a knife. For months, Wilson has been throwing subtle jabs at Clark, posting cryptic messages, and attempting to frame herself as Clark's equal in talent, marketability, and influence. Every time Clark achieved a milestone, Wilson had a response ready, a social media post, a comment, or a campaign subtly designed to redirect attention. Remember the Nike deal? Clark signed one of the biggest endorsement contracts in women's sports history, a deal that should have been a celebration for all female athletes. But instead of applauding, Wilson launched her own I Have a Shoe Too campaign, posting photos of her sneakers like she was claiming the spotlight that wasn't hers. It was desperation dressed as competition, a clear signal that she couldn't handle the meteoric rise of a younger player. Then came the cryptic quotes, the passive-aggressive likes, the constant insistence that what is delayed is not denied. Wilson's mantra became a public declaration that she expected to be on par with Clark, that her moment was just around the corner. But here's the twist. While Wilson was busy signaling patience, Clark was actually delivering, shattering records, leading her team, and winning fans worldwide. Every single attempt Wilson made to overshadow Clark only highlighted her own insecurity and frustration. And now comes the ultimate punchline. Team USA has made their choice loud and clear. With Sue Bird, one of the greatest players in the history of the game, overseeing this selection, the roster is crystal clear. Clark is the future, and Wilson is not part of that immediate plan. This isn't about talent alone. This is about leadership, global appeal, marketability, and the ability to carry the entire program into the next era of dominance. Every snub, every social media clapback, every attempt to assert herself over Clark has collided head-on with an undeniable reality. Caitlin Clark is now the centerpiece of Team USA. It's poetic justice served cold, and it's impossible to ignore. The drama, the shade, the tension, it all led to this defining moment. Wilson's months of subtle attacks and public digs haven't landed her any advantage. Instead, they've cemented a narrative of insecurity and missed opportunity. The basketball world is watching, the fans are reacting, and the stage is set for a story that feels almost too perfectly scripted. Now let's zoom in on what this Team USA December training camp really means. This isn't some casual shoot-around or an off-season practice. No, this camp is the crucible where careers are forged, reputations are solidified, and the future of American women's basketball is decided. Every move, every pass, every play is under the microscope. Coaches, scouts, and executives are watching every reaction, every clutch moment, every interaction with teammates. This is where legends are made and reputations are shattered. For Caitlin Clark, this is the ultimate validation. Her relentless drive, her jaw-dropping performances, and her magnetic influence on and off the court have all led to this defining moment. When she steps onto that court, she's not just representing herself. She's the face of the next generation of Team USA basketball. She carries the weight of expectation, the hopes of fans, and the promise of a dynasty built on her talent and leadership. And make no mistake, she is more than ready. But for Aya Wilson, the stakes couldn't be higher in a different sense. She's watching from home, forced to confront the fact that despite her accolades, MVPs, championships, and years of dominance, she wasn't deemed the centerpiece for the next era. Every social media post, every subtle dig at Clark, every campaign to claim equal spotlight has led to this unavoidable moment of reckoning. The psychological pressure of seeing a younger player, someone she once underestimated or criticized, now take her place at the forefront, is immense. And here's the kicker. This camp isn't just about basketball skills. Yes, scoring, defense, and court IQ matter, but Team USA is building for more than wins. They're building a global brand, a cultural force, and a team that inspires the next generation of players worldwide. Marketability, personality, leadership, and the ability to handle immense media pressure are just as critical as points per game or rebounds. In every single one of these areas, Caitlin Clark isn't just competent, she dominates. She brings a spark that elevates the entire program, turning every game into a global spectacle. This is the world Aya Wilson has to confront. She isn't just facing a missed opportunity. She's staring down the reality that her approach, her focus on individual recognition, hasn't aligned with what Team USA now values most. And the contrast between Clark's rise and Wilson's exclusion couldn't be starker. It's a dramatic, undeniable statement about the direction of women's basketball, and the world is watching. When the Team USA roster for the December training camp was finally revealed, the reactions were immediate, intense, and for some, downright shocking. At the center of it all, Caitlin Clark, the golden ticket holder, the record breaker, the unstoppable force who has dominated headlines for months. And standing in sharp contrast, Aya Wilson, whose name was conspicuously absent from a list. This roster isn't a random collection of names. It's a who's who of the future of women's basketball. Alongside Clark, you have Paige Bilkers, a skillful rising star whose college career made waves. Guji Watkins, already drawing comparisons to all-time greats. And Angel Reese, the player fans can't stop talking about, ready to reignite one of the most electrifying rivalries in the sport. But this time on the international stage. Add to that Cameron Brink, Aaliyah Boston, and veterans like Kelsey Plum and Jackie Young providing leadership and stability. This is Team USA's blueprint for global dominance. And Clark is at the center of it all. The contrast between Clark and Wilson couldn't be starker. Clark has earned every inch of this recognition, not only through jaw-dropping skills, but by elevating everyone around her. Her presence draws crowds, boosts viewership, and inspires the next generation of basketball fans. Every endorsement, every media appearance, every viral highlight reel only strengthens her position as the face of Team USA. Meanwhile, Wilson is left to watch from home, a bitter reminder that success isn't just about stats or accolades anymore. Team USA is looking at impact, leadership, marketability, and the ability to thrive under immense international pressure. And in these areas, Clark simply outshines everyone else. The social media buzz alone tells the story. Clark's games shatter records, her posts break engagement numbers, and her influence extends far beyond the court. This isn't just basketball excellence, it's a cultural phenomenon, and Wilson isn't part of it. The fallout has been explosive. Fans are divided, analysts are debating, and the basketball world is buzzing. Is Wilson being punished unfairly? Or is this simply the emergence of a new leader in the sport? From viral discussions to heated debates in locker rooms and living rooms across the country, the story of Clark's ascension and Wilson's absence has captivated everyone. And it's only just beginning. This roster announcement doesn't just represent a single event. It marks a turning point in women's basketball history. And Caitlin Clark is leading the charge while Aya Wilson faces a moment of reckoning that could define her legacy for years to come. Now let's talk about poetic justice, because in this story, it doesn't get any clearer or any more satisfying for the fans watching this drama unfold. Aya Wilson, despite being a dominant force in the WNBA, spent the past year taking subtle and not so subtle shots at Caitlin Clark. Whether it was social media posts questioning Clark's recognition, cryptic quotes hinting at delayed success, or campaigns insisting she deserved equal attention, Wilson made one thing clear: she was keeping score. And yet, here we are. Clark, the very player Wilson tried to overshadow, is now literally at the center of Team USA's future, while Wilson sits at home, unable to participate in the very event that could have solidified her legacy on an international stage. Every jab, every shade thrown in Clark's direction, every desperate attempt to assert dominance over a younger, rising star has backfired spectacularly. This isn't just a missed opportunity. It's a public rebuke of Wilson's approach to fame and influence. Think about it. The Nike deal, the Time Athlete of the Year award, the viral highlights, the record-breaking performances, each of these milestones became a moment Wilson could have celebrated as a triumph for women's basketball. Instead, she tried to make them about herself, posting comparisons, hints, and complaints that only amplified the spotlight on Clark. Every attempt to diminish Clark's achievements now reads like a footnote in her own downfall, because Team USA has made it crystal clear: Clark is the cornerstone, Wilson is not. This is the kind of story you almost cannot write. It has all the elements of drama, tension, and irony. A seasoned veteran, decorated and celebrated, challenged by a younger, rising superstar, and the universe answers with a decisive, undeniable statement. Clark's invitation to Team USA isn't just an honor. It's a validation of her skill, her character, and her ability to represent the sport at its highest level. And it's the ultimate confirmation that everything Wilson spent months trying to manipulate has, in fact, highlighted Clark's supremacy. Fans are calling it karma. Analysts are calling it strategic foresight. And the basketball world is calling it a lesson in humility, timing, and focus. Clark's rise isn't just a personal victory. It's a signal to every athlete watching that talent, work ethic, and authenticity will always be rewarded, even when the drama gets messy. And for Wilson, it's a stark reminder that being great isn't enough if your energy is spent on tearing others down instead of building yourself up. The implications of this roster announcement stretch far beyond a single training camp. For Caitlin Clark, this moment is a defining milestone in what is shaping up to be a legendary career. Being chosen as the centerpiece of Team USA Senior Camp isn't just an honor. It's a launch pad for global recognition, cultural influence, and legacy building. Every play she makes, every leadership decision on the court, and every moment under the spotlight now carries exponential significance. She's no longer just a star in the WNBA. She's on the path to becoming the face of women's basketball worldwide. Clark's rise also signals a shift in how Team USA is shaping its identity. This isn't merely about assembling talented athletes. It's about crafting a team that can command attention, inspire new generations, and dominate on the international stage, both in skill and cultural influence. From jersey sales to social media engagement, Clark brings an unprecedented level of global impact that extends beyond basketball. She's becoming a role model not only for young athletes, but for anyone watching the rise of a true sports icon. For Aya Wilson, the long-term effects are more complex. Her absence from this roster is not a reflection of diminished talent. She remains one of the league's most formidable players, but it is a stark reminder that perception, timing, and approach matter as much as skill. Wilson has built a career on dominance within the WNBA, but Team USA is signaling that the next era prioritizes versatility, global appeal, and leadership that resonates beyond the court. This moment may force Wilson to reevaluate her strategy, her public persona, and how she positions herself for future opportunities. There's also a psychological layer. Watching a younger peer rise past her in such a visible and symbolic way is bound to have lasting effects. Wilson's reaction, how she chooses to respond publicly and privately, could either redefine her narrative or reinforce a perception of missed opportunities. Conversely, Clark's success, fueled by hard work, poise, and authenticity, sets a benchmark for what it takes to thrive in today's sports environment. Ultimately, this situation highlights a larger truth in professional sports. Dominance on the court is essential, but it's only one piece of the puzzle. Influence, marketability, leadership, and the ability to carry a team and a brand forward are equally crucial. Clark has demonstrated she can do all of that. Wilson has yet to fully align with that multifaceted standard, and Team USA's decision reflects the future they want to build. Caitlin Clark's rise isn't just a story about talent. It's a cultural phenomenon. Her influence reaches far beyond the hardwood, reshaping the way women's basketball is consumed, marketed, and celebrated around the world. Team USA is no longer just building a winning team. They're constructing a global brand, and Clark is the cornerstone. Her games drive record-breaking viewership. Her social media content inspires millions, and her very presence encourages young athletes, particularly girls, to pick up the sport and dream bigger than ever. The international implications are massive. With the 2026 World Cup and the 2028 Olympics on the horizon, Clark's participation ensures that Team USA will not only compete at the highest level, but also capture the imagination of global audiences. Sponsors, broadcasters, and sports networks are taking notice. Every appearance Clark makes is a marketing and engagement win, proving that her value extends far beyond the scoreboard. Even beyond basketball, Clark's crossover influence into other sports like golf collaborations shows her potential as a multi-industry ambassador, bridging audiences across multiple platforms and demographics. Contrast this with Aya Wilson, who, while undeniably talented and dominant in her own right, hasn't yet demonstrated the same cultural reach. Wilson's impact remains largely one-dimensional, rooted primarily in on-court performance. In today's sports ecosystem, where influence and marketability are increasingly critical, this distinction is monumental. Team USA's choice sends a clear signal. They aren't just choosing the best player. They're choosing the player who can elevate the entire sport on a global stage. The message is loud and clear. Talent alone isn't enough. Leadership, authenticity, global appeal, and the ability to inspire fans worldwide are now critical criteria for the next generation of American basketball. Caitlin Clark embodies all of these qualities. She is not just shaping her career. She is shaping the future of women's basketball as a cultural force. So, what does this mean for the story of Caitlin Clark and Aya Wilson? For Clark, this is the start of an era. She's stepping into a role that will define international competition for the coming decade, solidifying her legacy not just as a phenomenal athlete, but as a global ambassador for the sport. Her rise is a reminder that authenticity, hard work, and the ability to elevate those around you will always be rewarded, even amidst drama, shade, and public scrutiny. For Wilson, the moment is a crossroads. Her absence from Team USA's training camp is a wake-up call about how influence, perception, and public persona interact with raw talent. How she responds will determine whether she reclaims her place among basketball's elite in the global spotlight or remains overshadowed by rising stars like Clark. And for fans and aspiring athletes, there's a powerful lesson here. In today's world, excellence isn't measured solely by points and rebounds. It's about impact, leadership, and legacy. Caitlin Clark has proven that the right combination of talent, charisma, and authenticity can create a seismic shift in a sport and inspire generations along the way. This is more than just a story of a roster decision. It's a tale of poetic justice, rising stars, and the evolution of an entire sport. Caitlin Clark is no longer just a name on a scoreboard. She is the face of a movement, a beacon for future athletes, and the undeniable centerpiece of Team USA's journey to international greatness. And as Io Wilson watches, the world witnesses a moment that is equal parts thrilling, dramatic, and unforgettable. The stage is set. The future is here. And Caitlin Clark is leading the charge.
Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more dives into Hollywood's hidden history.